Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett, and today I'm going to get into a review and overview of the Fire HD 10. Now I want to mention that I'm going to really focus more on the software side of things than hardware, but as far as things goes, I'm going to mention that this is one of the better tablets you can get, especially for the amount that you have to pay for, like $100 and something. Basically, this is where you're going to get the most bang out of your buck, especially when you get into this price range. Now, as far as this goes, I want to mention that it does have a plastic back, and if you put a cover on it, obviously the feel won't really matter one way or another, but the speakers are on one side, and if you're using it in this fashion, then obviously your hand's going to cover one of the speakers, but obviously if you use it on the sides, then it's obviously not going to be a problem. Something I kind of really wish that more manufacturers do is do front-facing speakers versus anything else. And also, one other thing about the speakers is it seems like the speakers are actually projected to the back itself. During normal videos, normal music, and a few other things, I couldn't really tell the difference one way or another. It sounded just like anything else. But when I was listening to some podcasts where the person didn't have really a good mic at all, for some reason it actually amplified the problem. It made it where the person sounded like they were talking in a box, but that was a rarity when that happened. But it is something important to note. And another thing to note is this doesn't come with a flash, so you can't use it as a flashlight or anything like that. But all the other things, it's it's basic tablet type of thing. It's just a very basic thing. Again, it's pretty good for the amount of money that you pay for it. Now, as far as the software side of things, it's pretty straightforward. Big thing that you gotta note out through this entire thing is obviously Amazon made this, and this is a version of Android. Amazon modified it into their own system, but it's still Android at the end of the day. See, Google made Android in such a way where a company can easily do that, and there's many companies that actually modified Android into itself for internal use, and then some companies like Amazon modified it for external use. We see that all the time with certain manufacturers, but almost never to this extreme. It's important to note that because certain things like Google Play, the Play Store, Chrome, and Gmail and the Google Maps and a few other things, it does not come with the tablet natively. And I got videos on how to actually put this stuff on your tablet. It's not that hard. It's just that you got to jump through a few hoops, and you don't even have to root the device to do it. So this is something to note: is you have to jump through some hoops to Google Play, the Play Store, and a few other things. But this does come with its own application store, comes with its own browser, it comes with all its own stuff. Personally, I prefer to use the Chrome and a few other things, so that's why I've added it. So with that one in mind, going into here, I also want to mention that this comes with Amazon Alexa. It does not come with the Google Assistant, and for whatever reason, I can't get Google Assistant to work on this device. And same thing with Cortana, I cannot get it to work on this device. So this means that until Google releases official support, which ain't gonna happen, or Microsoft releases official support for this, the fact of the matter is until that happens, well, we're not going to see the actual anything else other than Alexa on here. And the thing is, I doubt Microsoft will release something official on here, not because of competition or whatever, not because Microsoft doesn't want to do it, but it's because it is against competition against the Amazon Alexa stuff. Amazon's very Apple when it comes to this type of stuff. If there's any hint of competition against one of their actual things, so videos, whatever it may be, then they kind of don't allow them to sell their stuff on their store. Hence why you can't get most Google stuff on Amazon. look it up. So with that one in mind, going into here, and it's kind of funny that they're actually pulling that crap when they're using Android at the same time. So with that one in mind, going into here, that might not be a problem for most people. Just throw Google Play on here if you're giving it to someone, or if you're doing it for yourself, and you should be good to go. Now with that, you can also throw custom launchers on here, but natively you're not going to be able to throw widgets and whatever around. So you're going to have to throw a custom launcher on here. It's not that hard. I actually have a video on how to do that, so feel free to check that one out. So with this native launcher, how does it work? Again, we're dealing with Amazon. They are a store. They want you to buy things. This is why the tablet is cheap. I cannot express that enough. This, without that being in mind, without it being in mind that you will buy books, you will buy videos, you will go to this shop thing and probably buy things, or at least the bulk of the people who buys this tablet will end up buying stuff from Amazon, which will make them more money. Without that, this, I can easily see it within a $200 to $300 range. This is probably why it's all affordable. So this is a big thing to note, is all the stuff is centralized around Amazon, but it's not a bad thing in itself. But we got books, videos, games, actual Amazon shopping, the App Store itself, music, Audible, and Newsstand. Now, one thing I don't like about this, and that should be noted, is personally I like Newsstand. And it'll be nice to actually move, say, Newsstand closer to home versus having to play a game where I have to go across the entire thing. Let's try to get back home. So with that, we have that. Then if we go left, we have weather, and then recent applications and what I should try, and a few other things like that. If we click on weather, it pulls up the weather application just like any other, tablet you get or any other thing that you get. So with that, the applications that you natively get on here, I'm not really going to go through them because most, if not all of these, you can get on Google Play. I think maybe the browser you can't, and obviously the email you can't, and maybe one or two other things. But 99% of this you can get on the Google Play Store natively. It's pretty straightforward on how it's used. So note that. Now, as far as that goes, get into the actual settings itself. The settings is fairly straightforward. We can actually go into the device options and do updates through that. You can actually go into developer mode by hitting the serial number, I think about 7 times or something like that. Then we got apps, games, storage, and all the other basic stuff. Where you're probably going to see the most use out of this is the accessibilities, and also, I mean, like right here, we're able to actually have larger fonts, screen magnifier, and a few other things, and also the Alexa portion of it. So as far as the Alexa portion of it, we can just simply turn on and off if we want. So like right here, I can actually hold down the home button and trigger it on, or I can do a hands-free, and I can actually change the wake word from either Amazon or Alexa. So with that one in mind, it also has a ability to actually have where if you have more than one Alexa device, sorry about that, using the same wake word, then it will do a same thing like the Google Home Mini, Google Home deal, where it will go to the closest device versus all of them. So as far as that goes, that's something that should be noted there. Now, as far as that goes, that's pretty much about it. I mean, we're not talking about something that's super advanced. We're not talking about something super dialed down. Obviously, this cannot go over your cell phone network. It requires Wi-Fi. So you can't make calls with this, or at least you can make voice over IP calls if you know how to get the system to do that, which is not that hard. But you obviously cannot make calls over the cell network. Again, it doesn't have flash or any of that stuff. So you got to know what you're getting into. But if you're okay with that, like many people I know would be completely okay with this, and if you just attach a keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard to it in a case, then most people probably treat this as a actual laptop. This is one of the biggest reasons why I'll say that this is actually worthwhile for most users. Is the fact is most users could easily see this as being a small laptop in a sense of a word. So with that one in mind, given that you hook up a keyboard through a case. So with that in mind, feel free to ask questions and whatnot, and I'll see you next video. Hope you have a great day.